The race to the Final Four is closing in, which means a battle between the three schools hoping to clinch that fourth spot is must-watch basketball. Joining us to break down the final stretch of these three squads is UAAP analyst and UP legend.
Wow.
Who wrote that?
Me.
Jet Manuel!
I had them right there.
You had them
Jet setter, Jet Manuel.
Goodness, we need to have talks with the writers. All right, let's focus first on what happened. I think a lot of people are going to focus on the Ateneo Adamson game in particular. Because Ateneo beating Adamson, who is also in contention for that Final Four spot, that win must feel really big for the Ateneo community.
Yeah, I mean, that match, basically, as they say, it was two teams that were, I think, that had the higher chances of getting into that Final Four. They both had those games under their control, and the Final Four fate of their season in that game, and Ateneo just edged out Adamson. So right now, Ateneo still has control of their fate, and Adamson has to now play out who's going to win and who's going to lose in the remaining game.
Were you there yesterday at the venue? And did you feel that playoff intensity? It's like every play was almost like essential, like, you know, in playoff basketball, right? So tell us, Jet, what happened and how did Ateneo pull it off in the end? Because they were behind by as much as 7 in that fourth quarter.
Well, I just have to go with how Coach Tab focuses on the little details of their defense.
Yeah.
I think it was a defensive matchup. Like you said, the atmosphere was insane. Because
It was.
both teams knew the importance of that game coming in. The players, the coaches, the crowd, everybody. But I think in the end, Ateneo just edged out on those little 50-50 balls. The small defensive stops, the defensive rebounds to guarantee those stops. And I think in the end, in that the last few plays, Ateneo just made the right decisions and the right adjustments to stop Adamson. But Adamson had their chances.
They had them.
They had their chances, and they just couldn't pull through.
Yeah, you know, you take a look at let's take a look at Adamson here. Itong si Dirat Hanapi had 6 points and only got his first field goal in the third quarter. And it's little things like that I feel kind of slowed Adamson down, or at least at the very end it felt like those numbers eventually added up.
Yeah, I mean, if I look at Adamson, they have a lot of good players, but I think Didat Hanapi has more of a light for him when I'm looking at that team, because he has that potential to push Adamson over that edge offensively.
Yeah.
You know, he has the skills. He's proven it. I mean, I think the first game in the UAAP, I called that game, he scored 28 points, something like that. So he has that talent to do so, but you know, Adamson's still missing that piece that Jerome Lastimosa left offensively in that guard position. They have a big man inside, Manzano's great, but offensively off the guard, he has to take, for me, Dirat Hanapi has to take more shots, he has to be a little bit more aggressive offensively, and he has to try to take charge a little bit in that offensive side of the basketball.
They were boosted yesterday by their two small point guards, Matt Erolon and Matthew Montebon, that especially in that third quarter where they took over from Ateneo. Adamson has no player, Pao, averaging more than 7 points in this season. So offense was really a tough one, but they lost that one. But in Ateneo's side, who impressed you in the game yesterday?
I mean, I'm going to have to go, I think the whole season, you know, not just that game, the whole season. Kai Balungay has been, for me, the key player for Coach Tab. Because when I look at the squad of Ateneo, it's hard to pinpoint the players that can play both sides of the court effectively. You know, you have Amos, who's a great shooter, but it's questionable defensively. You have Jared Brown, who's a great offensive player, but Coach Tab goes to Espinosa on the defensive end. Ketevis is a great defender.
Oh, and he was big last
year. And he was big.
Yesterday.
He had a great offensive game, and they won.
Yes.
But it's not consistent. But Kai Balungay has been consistent on both ends. That's why he has the highest usage rate. That's why he has the highest minutes. So I think for me, if I look at that squad and they want to keep going, he has to perform a little bit better. He has great averages so far, but he has that potential also to maybe double his...
Siya talaga barometer mo, in your opinion. Okay.
Again, close to his averages there. 10 points, he averages around 11.7 and 8 rebounds when he averages around 8.7. So when you look at all of this and what it all means, we're all wondering who you feel would be more likely to make that fourth Final Four spot. The next game for Ateneo, UE and LaSalle. For Adamson, it is NU and UE. And for UE, it's Ateneo and Adamson. So, my goodness, Jet, where are we when it comes to this?
I mean, after that last game, I'm gonna have to go with Ateneo. You know, I think they. I can't.
You mean among the three?
Among the
Among
three,
the three.
Ateneo, Adamson, and UE. Right now, I think that Ateneo still has that edge. Like I said, they have the ball in their hands for their fate.
Especially because of that win yesterday.
Because of that win. And I think, you know, the remaining games, UE, that's going to be a crazy game also because UE has to win that game.
Right.
And the big game against LaSalle, which they've shown that they can compete against LaSalle when the lights are shining. I think Ateneos has that the edge for me among the three teams.
If you're a fan of UE, you got to feel for Ray Rumogat, who's having one heck of a season.
Yeah.
And everybody's guarding it. Everybody knows
Oh, man.
he's the man. And yet he still scores 20, 22 points. How is he doing it? Let's give him some love before we give love to the team that beat them yesterday.
Well, if I cover the games, if I watch as a fan, he's one of the players that I would pay to see.
Yeah.
He's just,
Agree,
oh my God,
100%.
the talent that he has reminds me of in UE's effect, a Paul Lee before, to a Roy Sumang, one guy who can lift his team
Good
from
comparison.
single-handedly.
Yeah.
He shoots the three well. He just reads the floor well. He has that swagger in him. You know, he shoots almost like me when I was playing in UP. I mean, I'm just saying. It's just
No, he does shoot like you, pero he
Pumapasok.
converts.
Oh, pumapasok.
He
Oh.
converts
I set
more than
myself
you.
up with that.
Teka, kailangan natin. We got time for that. Your school, pal, because they're on a 6-game winning tear.
Yeah, 6-game winning there, and a guy named Kevin Cambao is
Wow.
playing. I think he's playing okay basketball here.
Ayun,
This is
okay.
another triple-double here.
Probably number one on my UAP fantasy draft list. You know, triple-double. Yesterday, the previous game, 17, 19, and then 12, I think,
Yeah.
with 4 steals, 2 blocks, second triple-double. Look, when he's on the floor, he doesn't even need to have the ball. In that first half, single-digit scoring, 7 points, I think. But the effect he has on the entire team, like, you can feel it. When he's out on the floor, you know he's out. When he's in, you know he's in.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the difference with LaSalle right now. They have a key player who wants the ball, and you need that when you're heading into the playoffs.
Nobody, by the way, has done 2 triple-doubles in one season. 2 triple-doubles by 2 different players, yes, in one season, but no one single player. So that's a big deal. Who else, though? Especially now we get into the home stretch. One question. Second question is, what are the chances of LaSalle getting that top 2 spot because they're not yet done yet?
Okay, who else in that squad? You know, I'm gonna have to point out Evan Nelly. You know, it's two guys who are the key. I mean, no secret. Coach Tab can close his eyes and he knows who they have to guard. It's Evan Nelly, who's the other guy who has to be consistent, who has to play well for LaSalle to play well. It can't just be KQ. And that's exactly what happened in all their wins and their streak so far. But, you know, their chances of getting that number 2 spot, I think it depends also because of the remaining games that they have. They still have Ateneo. That's always going to be a big game.
Yeah.
And then NU and UP still beating each
NU
other,
and UP,
right?
yeah. So
that's going to be a big one.
I hope just for a fan's sake and for analyst's sake that there will be a battle for the number 2 spot between NU and LaSalle. It's going to be possible. So who knows? So
Yeah.
It's crazy UAP season.
No, pinakamaganda yan. Battle for 4, battle for 2.
There's just so many things that can happen. Pero grabe talaga. Jet, thank you for being here.
Salamat.
Finally.
Of course, anytime.
Oh, even if you
Please,
bribe the
I love
writer.
Please check your statement about
UP
shooting.
legend.
Next time.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all the time. Download Pilipinas Live now.